Gold versus silver in 2022. What's the current status of these precious metals and which one is better to be stacking right now? Well, first of all, let's step back and make some observations on what these metals have done over the past year or so. Both metals have sold off from their highs. We've had a correction in markets across the board, and precious metals have not been an exception. And one notable element of that sell-off is that silver fell a lot faster and a lot further than gold. And that is pretty typical behavior during a sell-off. Also, gold, even though it did drop, it dropped a lot less than many other assets. Compared to cryptocurrencies and stocks, especially tech stocks, the correction that we saw in gold over the past several months was a lot less severe, demonstrating gold's time-honored role as a safe store of value, whereas silver dropped quite a bit, demonstrating its tendency to be a much more volatile market. But those properties do cut both ways. Last week, following the Fed's somewhat dovish FOMC press conference, along with the release of the negative Q2 GDP numbers that sparked some speculation that the Fed was closer to a pivot than previously thought, we saw markets begin to catch a bid, gold and silver included, culminating in a strong rally last Friday. But it was much stronger in silver than in gold, with silver up over 7% in one trading session, and the same day gold was up just 2%. And last Friday's move gave us a pretty good picture of how when the precious metals market really gets some wind in its sails, the tendency is for silver to move up much faster than gold, the same way that it moves faster to the downside in a bear market. Now, one effect of silver's recent outperformance relative to gold has been a drop in the gold to silver ratio. Here's the 1-month chart of that ratio, and you can see it moved sharply down from just above 93 down to the 87 level. And this ratio, if you haven't seen it before, it's simply a measure of the spot price of gold divided by the spot price of silver. So basically, it's a measure of how many ounces of silver you can purchase for 1 ounce of gold at any given time. And real quick, I would like to say a special thanks to today's video sponsor, Silver Botanicals. SilverBotanicals.com has some amazing personal hygiene and household products that utilize the power of nano silver. Now, you can always save 10% at Silver Botanicals with coupon code STACKER, and right now in the month of August, if you use coupon code STACKER and purchase $50 worth of product or more, you'll be getting a free Brilliant Uncirculated Roosevelt dime, just like this one, in one of these great cards from Dean over at Silver Botanicals. And if you like these videos and you'd like to support the channel, one of the best ways is to support our sponsors. So head over to silverbotanicals.com today. And if we zoom out and take a look at the long-term gold to silver ratio chart going back to 1971, the year Nixon took the US dollar off the gold standard, we can see that even with the recent decline, the gold to silver ratio is still near the very high end of the chart. And that tells us two things. Number one, silver is still quite cheap and undervalued relative to gold. And two, the recent tick up in the gold and silver price that we've seen, if it gets some legs under it, both metals still have a lot of room to move higher. Typically, when we see a big move up in the metals, we see the gold to silver ratio decline to the low end of this chart as a result of silver's outperformance of gold during precious metals bull markets. Notably, in 2011, when the metals peaked, the ratio declined to just below 35, and at the 1980 peak, the ratio fell below 16. Think about that. In 1980, there was a time when you could buy 1 ounce of gold for just 16 ounces of silver. To get to that ratio today, with today's gold price of more than $1,700, you would need silver to be over $100 per ounce. Also, consider that any market in which this ratio fell to that level would also likely involve a much higher gold price as well, and so $100 silver is actually a very conservative price forecast in that type of a scenario. Now, some people don't like to use 1980 as an example because of the Hunt brothers and all that, but even if we use 2011 and the ratio of 35, that's a huge difference from where we are today. Back then, 1/10 ounce of gold like this coin would have been worth this much silver. And today, this same coin is worth this much silver. So as you can see, silver priced in gold is very cheap right now, and you get a lot of it for your money. And that's why at today's prices, it's tough for me to stack gold because I know silver is just a better bargain and I personally like to buy stuff when it's cheap. Now, none of this is financial advice, of course, and I'm not a silver permeable really. I mean, I know I'm the smart silver stacker, but if we saw the gold to silver ratio dip below 40 anytime in the near future, I may very well sell some silver or swap some out for gold, but at today's prices, silver just makes a lot more sense to me. That being said, silver is the smaller market. That means it's more volatile, it's riskier, and it's also easier to manipulate. So all of that is something to consider as well. If you simply want the most stable, the safest, the most time-honored store of value, gold might be the metal for you. But if you're willing to take on a bit more risk for the possibility of greater returns, silver might be the way to go. Or you can be like me and stack both while still giving priority to the metal that best fits your needs. And if you'd like to know the best places to buy gold and silver and where you can get the best deals, you can check out the link to SD Bullion down in the description. That's always a good place to start. But you should also subscribe to the channel because every now and then I'll put out a video with the best deals on gold and silver that I am able to find. And sometimes I even have special deals for you from bullion dealers. Later this month, I'll be teaming up with Bullion Max to have some silver bars on sale at spot price, just for the viewers of this channel. So definitely click that subscribe button if you haven't yet. And I do want to say a big thank you to all of you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, folks. And I will catch you next time. Smart Silver Stacker, out.